All right, so today we're back with another rebuild. This time it's not the infinite rebuild series. I'm going to put it on hold for the time being. I want to test out something that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time, and that is a realistic rebuild, or more of a realistic rebuild than a fantasy rebuild, which we normally do. The crazy free agency signings, the crazy trades, kind of, I don't want to say cheating, but we kind of do cheat the system, right, with the trades and the signings. So today I want to do a realistic rebuild, and I'll explain that in a bit. But if you guys want to see some more of these, this is something that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. I feel like you guys ask about it, I just want to see how you guys respond to it. So we're gonna do a realistic rebuild. I don't know the team yet, you know who it is, but we're gonna do a realistic rebuild. If you want to see another one of these rebuilds, let's aim for 1,000 likes, and I'll do another one for tomorrow. Of course, if you like the content, consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new here, and in the comment section let me know what you think about them. You want to see some more of these rebuilds, let me know down below. So let me break down these realistic rebuilds, because I don't want to go out there and like cheat the system. Most of it's going to be trying to build through the draft, making trades. So say if we're a team that's like on the we're just not competing. We're a team that's not competing. I'm going to trade with teams who are competing, maybe get rid of some of our better players, trade them away, try to get prospects in return. Maybe we're like the Tigers, maybe I sign players that I would look to deal at the trade deadline. And just try to avoid trades at all costs and really try to build through free agency and the draft. That's kind of the main thing. I would think maybe one trade, maybe two trades a season at most, but we're gonna try to keep away from the trades. We're gonna focus on free agency. So let's hop into this. Let's see how you guys like it, and let's just get into our first realistic rebuild. All right, we're gonna do the Angels. I feel like that's a good challenge. Let's get Trout a ring, and because we're the Angels, is it gonna change? There it is. We're rocking with the red lighting. It's only fitting. So here we go. Let's hop into it. Of course, the roster is on screen, and I'm gonna turn contracts off just because I don't know how many seasons it's gonna be. The whole point of this is to try to turn this team around, and let's leave it like this. Let's see how it goes. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's gonna be on manual. So of course, we want to avoid trades at all costs. It's going to be a tough one. So let me set this team up how I want it. Let's get it down to the 26-man roster, and I'll show you what we're working with for the first season. That's right, we're going to hop into 2020. All right, so let's take a look at this roster for 2020, because I don't want to go out and make changes this year, because obviously this year's passed, but I do want to focus on the draft, which unfortunately I can't make any changes to the scouts because we don't have the money to do it. But this is the lineup that I'm going to rock. Like I said, I'm not going to make any changes to the team. I'm going to leave it because I want to kind of get it into where we are in real life in 2021. So I'm going to simulate the season. I'm going to do the draft class like I normally do. But with the roster that I use, we do get some random generated players. And I'm looking around hoping that maybe we get like a good one to kind of like bring into the team. I'm going to allow myself one. We're going to kind of count these as like maybe like an international signing. I feel like signing a closer is so boring, so I'm going to avoid signing the closers, and I'm going to see if there's any position player that like we can kind of keep our eye on. Kev Stewart, I'm gonna pass on Kev Stewart. Estevan, I thought he was going to be a good one, but the potential's not there. So J.R. Willingham, I think he's going to be our best bet, unless there's one in the outfield. Jonathan Reese, Pedro Alvarado, Harold Hinkle. Harold Hinkle looks decent, but we've got Trout. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just go with the shortstop. We do have Jeremiah Jackson and Kyron Paris, but you know what? Let's just get someone to kind of bring into the team, and we can kind of follow him. My roster's full, of course. Who are we going to cut? We definitely got to cut somebody. We're going to cut this guy. Yeah, we're just, sorry. You just didn't make the cut. That was a terrible joke. I don't even know why I laughed. So let's see where he ends up. He's going to be in AA for the season. I'm perfectly fine with that. And that's the squad. So let me get to the draft. We'll do our normal stuff. I'll do my draft, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, no 40 or no exclusive negotiations. Also, I know that the Angels signed Kurt Suzuki in real life. He just retired in the game, and I feel like I would rather get a younger catcher anyways. So yeah, so I'm gonna add a couple guys to the 40 man, most likely Leonardo Rivas. Arbitration, Maybe everybody. Maybe how'd Felix Pena do? Pretty bad. So maybe not Felix Pena. Maybe not Neil Ramirez either. But I feel like the rest of those players kind of make the squad. Everybody else is going to get added. I'm going to offer a contract there. We don't have a lot of money to work with. That's kind of the big issue with this team. Pujols does become a free agent at the end of the year. Justin Upton's a player where normally I would trade him, but unfortunately we can't. So there's that. We kind of have to work with just some cheap options. You know, I think Max Stassi, we're perfectly fine with him at catcher. We'll just sign like a cheap little backup and then go from there. Offensively, I feel like we have a solid team. I don't really want to focus on that. It's this area I definitely want to focus on because you can see it's not great. Obviously, I can't really make too many changes this year because, you know, I can't really go out and go crazy with trades or anything like that. But maybe in free agency, we can sign like a cheap starter or a cheap reliever, something like that. And maybe at the trade down the line, if we're contending or even if we're not contending, then we make a trade also. But maybe a trade happens at the deadline, but it's most likely going to be a free agency move. I do want to show you the draft picks. Rolando Aponte was our starter that I drafted. He was a round 3 pickup. Pretty decent looking. I know you guys can't see the stats, so here you guys go. He looks decent. I think it's a pretty good pickup. And then this was the first round pickup, David Valencia. I almost said Valenzuela. David Valencia. He looks really good. 19 years old. 8 potential. He was one of the better ones available, so I just went with him. And then he had like 75 potential, and he had like 70 potential. Nothing too crazy with our picks, but I do want to see what's available in free agency, just to kind of get an idea, just in case. We may pick up like he was already there. So I'm going to avoid those guys. I'm going to avoid him too. I think I'm just avoiding all these closers. So I might try to pick up one of these arms, maybe like a David Phelps, maybe not a David Phelps, maybe a Brandon Morrow. He usually does pretty well, and I think he could really help us out, even be a trade piece if we really needed to, like trade bait at the deadline if things aren't going too well. And maybe there's someone else that kind of sneaks into the free agency pool that I think would be great to pick up. But for now, it doesn't look like I'm going to be too active this offseason. I'll see you guys for the first actual season. All right, so we're about to start the actual first season, and I figured let's just start it off with the roster history. So nothing too crazy. Let me show you what I did. Signed Brian O'Keefe. He's usually available in free agency. Backup catcher. He's not terrible. He's probably not going to crack the starting lineup, but we'll have to wait and see. He could be a decent signing for us. We obviously had J.R. Willingham, who I think he's going to be a beast for us in a couple seasons. And outside of that, I didn't really sign much at all. Brandon Morrow came in on a 1-year deal, $6 million, so it is a little expensive, but hopefully he does well for us. If not, and we're doing terribly, he's getting shipped somewhere else. And did I miss like my one signing that I made? Here he is, Michael Chavis. He was available. He was sitting there, and I thought, you know what? Yes, we have Jose Iglesias. Yes, we have David Fletcher. But like having an extra DH bat / maybe a second baseman, maybe potential first baseman, you know, who knows? He's kind of like an all-around guy. I figured, you know what? Let's give him a shot. A lot of you guys have been asking me to sign him, and I thought, you know what, he only got 40 games with the Red Sox last year. He's probably looking for more game time. I prefer him over Gosselin, and also what's his name Renifo. That's his name. Renifo's a good player, but I feel like let's add a little bit of pop to the lineup, and you know what, we'll give him a shot. If he doesn't work out again, we can just let him walk in free agency. I think I gave him a club option, kind of one of those contracts to prove himself, and we'll see how it goes. So this is what we're going to be offensively. Like I said, most of our moves are going to be in free agency. We're not going to make a trade right here. There's no point in making any trades right now. Let's see how the team does. You guys can see Morrow has hopped in, Claudio. Like, we're trying to get Trout a ring. That's the whole premise of this rebuild. That's the whole point of ever doing an Angels rebuild. And I think we're doing pretty solid. Joe Adell obviously is going to be sitting in the minors. We've got Brandon Marsh and also Joe Adell on the same team. That's always good to see. Hopefully they develop. You guys can see their stats here. Brandon Marsh is a little ways away. And same thing with Joe Adell. I don't even know if they'll be featured in this rebuild. It really just depends on how long it takes us to win a World Series. So here we go. Let's see how it goes. And if we make any trades at the deadline, I'll see you then. All right, so in season 1, we won the division 93-69, taking on the Dodgers. No, that's not right. The Yankees. The Dodgers, we're not even in the same. Ugh, man. I think I need some more coffee this morning. So here we go. We won the West by 6 games. Okay, all right. The Rays and the Indians won the wild card. We got the Braves taking the East over the Phillies made the postseason as well. The Cubs, the Dodgers we know the Dodgers are gonna be good, and of course the Yankees. All right, let's take a look at league leaders, see how things are going. Oof. Mike Trout popped off. So I was looking around the league, seeing potentially like who was on the trade block, things like that. And there were a couple names that kind of caught my eye, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think we need them. One of those names that I did see was Clint Frazier, and I thought about, maybe get him in left field over Upton. There were a couple other players that were like outfielders that we could potentially get. Teoscar Hernandez, or Teoscar Hernandez, however he likes his name pronounced. He is currently on the Marlins, and he was on the trade block, and I thought, that could be a decent outfield bat for us. You know, we could always use an upgrade on Justin Upton. He's just not the same player that he used to be, and I feel like getting a player like him in the lineup would be huge. Just a good bat that would just add some more power to it, some more pop to the lineup, a little bit more protection for Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, and them. You know, I feel like that could be a good pickup. Definitely gonna need to look to improve the bullpen. It looks like our bullpen just had a terrible time. Our starters, on the other hand, let's see how they did. Not how you want to start it off seeing things. Griffin Canning, okay. And Alex Cobb. All right, so let's see what we got down here. Patrick Sandoval. He looks all right. David Valencia, though, he's looking pretty good. I don't think he's ready just yet, but Detmers is getting good. Cole, okay. Aponte is already up to a 73, so maybe in a season or two we can see him crack the lineup. The pitching rotation, I should say. Brandon Marsh is up to a 73. He's getting close. Maybe one more season, and then Joe Adell. Not bad. But I definitely don't see them getting in the lineup just yet. Looking at the team, the bench, not great. Definitely want to look to upgrade that second base position. Yes, we have Jose Iglesias, but again, it's a good bat, but we could do better, you know, especially if we're gonna. It's a cheap contract, but I feel like we could definitely do better. David Fletcher's not going anywhere. Mike Trout was MVP, putting up unbelievable numbers. 1152 OPS. Are you kidding me? That's gross. Rendon right behind him, having a fantastic season. Jared Walsh is one of those weird ones. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. Let's see how he does with one more season under his belt. See if he can really develop. If not, maybe we look to get a new first baseman. Shohei, fantastic. Love to see it. You got Stassi, not great. So maybe a catcher is something that we look to like pick up in the offseason. Michael Chavis in a first full season, 24 home runs, 30 doubles. Yeah, the numbers aren't fantastic, but maybe we give him one more year, see how he does. And then Jay up. It's not bad. It's definitely not terrible, but I feel like if we're paying someone 24 mil, you know, I'd want a little bit better production. So let's see what we have here. Taking the Yankees on, and we get swept. That's fair. Like, pitching's not great. That's definitely the area I want to spend the majority of our money on. The Yankees defeat the Dodgers. What a surprise. It's always those two in the World Series. And let's keep moving forward. So Pujols didn't retire. The thing is, I love Pujols. He's a fantastic ball player, and I can't do it. I can't bring him back. I'm gonna let Jesse Chavez go as well. I'm gonna pick up this option. He's not a young pitcher, but it's cheap. It's a good thing to have him down below in the farm system. And Dexter Fowler. I'm gonna pass. Alex Cobb was kind of nasty. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna let him walk, but he was kind of nasty. I'm gonna pick up Alex Claudio. I'm gonna do my normal club option. 5 mil, man. Oof. I guess. I'm going to pick up this option on Ty Buttrey. It's super cheap. Dylan Bundy. Ooh, what are we going to do with Bundy? You know what? Let's hold off. I think bringing back Rizal makes sense. We'll bump up his contract a little bit. maybe like 3.5. He's been fantastic. There's no point getting like to let him go when he was one of our best relievers. Jose Quintana. I feel like Bundy and Quintana are one of those guys where you kind of like, you don't necessarily say, hey, we're done, but like you want to explore your other options, you know? And Iglesias, kind of the same situation. Morrow, Heaney. I'm going to pass. Just the pitching. I said I really want to change the pitching staff. I feel like that would be the move. You know what? I feel like that's not realistic. They would definitely bring back at least like one of these arms, because you don't want to completely change your pitching staff. I feel like if we were going to keep one, it would probably be Heaney. Again, one of those situations where you go, hey, prove yourself. I'm going to give you a 2-year option. If you can prove yourself, we keep you. If not, whatever. Did he take the contract? He did. All right. So currently we're rocking a 2-man rotation, which isn't great. I mean, Jaime Barria could, pop in here, and then we could just pick up two starters. Let's see who else we have down here that could potentially. Cole could come up. We're just talking about using him. He's a good little depth piece. There we go. Put him in the bullpen. We need to set up 2 starters. And then a like second base or shortstop type player. Okay, that's definitely doable. Gonna make sure we add a couple guys to the 40-man. When we look at arbitration, I might not bring back Stassi. I might look to get a new catcher. Not Schebler, and I'm gonna let Gosselin go too. But Otani, Fletcher, Barnes, and Faria for sure. And then contracts wise, everybody's getting a contract here. So let's see what we got. We don't have a lot of money once again. So signing top pitchers, probably not likely. So maybe a reunion with Bundy. Archer looks like maybe we take a chance with Archer. It seems like that's what kind of the Angels like to do, take chances on pitchers. And then bullpen help. I feel like Sean Doolittle would be a safe signing. Daniel Norris would be maybe a safe signing. So someone that like could come in, help us out. Again, don't want to go too crazy. Catcher, I don't know. I gotta be smart with it though, because we don't have a lot of money. It says $4 million, but you know what? It's gonna go away very quickly. So I gotta be smart. I'll see you guys for season 2. All right, so season 2 time. And yeah, you know the deal. Let's look at this roster history. First, I want to show you the players that we drafted. Jason Rosario, B potential, 66 overall. We've got Alberto. He is all right. Manny Armas, B potential, 64 overall. Miguel Garcia and Chester Bush. And then the other one, this was my first pick. I'm struggling today. Dan Bain, 70 overall, B potential, 19-year-old, really good hitting stats, no power, but I think he can definitely be a really solid outfielder for us going forward. So, Chris Archer, brought him in, 1-year deal. I feel like aging pitchers at this point in MLB are only getting like 1-year deals. And, Ryan Tepera, MVP candidate. He had a pretty rough year last year, but he was one of the better relievers available. I thought, you know what? We need relievers. 1-year deal. It's going to be something we need. Corey Dickerson, brought him in. Hasn't really had a chance to play. He had one season, didn't play last year. I thought $4.5 million. I needed a lefty bat that would just kind of be like a platoon guy, possibly a DH. Corey Dickerson felt that. And then Roderick Garcia, I don't remember signing him, but I guess I did. So there's that. I just extended Shohei Ohtani's contract for the next 6 years, so he is not going anywhere. It was actually 5 years, but there we are. So here's the team. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid trades. I might make one trade since we are still technically in the off season, and that's kind of when most of the trades happen. I really want a bullpen arm, because I don't have faith in who we have. The issue is like, I don't really want to trade like a bullpen arm for a bullpen arm, because I don't feel like that happens. It normally would be like a player to be named later, but of course we can't do that. So like, that's a little bit unfortunate. So I'm thinking like Luis Renifo, as good as he is, I feel like he's kind of like a player that the Angels would trade, and we could always find somebody else that could play there. Like Franklin Barreto. So this way we could just either call somebody up that we already have in the farm system, or we could go out, sign a veteran for the season and go from there. So I think Luis Rengifo would be a perfect way to pick up a bullpen arm. I feel like he could actually get more than just one bullpen arm. The thing is, like, what bullpen arm would I want to go out and get? You know what? A player that's always in the trade rumors, Michael Givens, now of the Rockies, formerly of the Orioles. You know what? I feel like he would be a player that would also be on the move. I don't see the Rockies competing anytime soon. Their lineup just doesn't look fantastic. So I feel like Rengifo for Givens, you know, I'm not going to try to get too crazy with the trade. I'm just going to leave it at this. Maybe they would throw in like a low player that would try to like even out the trade a little bit. You know, maybe someone, I don't even know, maybe another reliever, or maybe like a catcher. But I'm gonna leave it like this. I feel like this is fine. I don't want to get too crazy with the trades. Normally I'd be like, yeah, give me this guy, that guy, and the other, but I'm not going to. And I'm gonna let, who was Barnes? I'm gonna give Barnes a shot. I'm gonna let Jake Farias sit in the minors for a little bit. Maybe he just needs a little seasoning. That's what I'll call it. He needs a little seasoning down in the minors, and just to become a better pitcher. So this is the team. This is what we're gonna rock with. Canning, Heaney, he was brought back. I did a 2-year deal. I'm pretty sure I showed you that, but just a double. You know, gotta cover all my bases. You know, Bundy, Archer, Jaime Barria is gonna get a shot this year. He's been our long reliever. Let's see how it goes. Patrick Sandoval is going to get a shot. And then we have Claudio Barnes, Tepera, Buttrey, Givens, and Rizal. And then obviously the lineup currently looks like this. I'm going to give Chavis a shot at second base. If he's garbage, then man, we're in trouble. So I'm going to sign someone that hasn't been signed yet, just to kind of give us an extra player. Freddie Galvis, I feel like, is a player that, you know what, he wants to stick around in the league. We'll give him a shot. We'll bump it up to like 900K. He should be happy with that. We'll call him up to the bigs, and we should be good. We'll just go like this. Boom. Perfect. I'm really excited about this guy. I think I might give him a shot at the age of 21. I feel like who's holding him back? Michael Chavis? Michael Chavis might not even be good this year. So, boom. Let's hop into the regular season, see what we're ranked. 19th. We made the postseason last year being similarly ranked, and I feel like we're doing pretty well. I'll show you Joe Adell. I mean, I think the Angels kind of rushed him last year. I feel like they really shouldn't have called him up. And then you got Brandon Marsh here. So we'll see what happens with them. A couple other good looking prospects down there. And then pitching wise, we've got Detmers. Faria is not going to be over there. We got Seminaris, Aponte, and I think Suarez. So yeah, we've got some names. I'm actually kind of excited with the prospects that we have, and yeah, these guys are kind of the main ones to look up for. Aponte, Detmers, and then Valencia. I mean, I like the team. I like the team a lot. So let's see how it goes. Maybe we get some luck. Maybe we make a trade or two at the deadline, but who knows? I'll see you guys at the end of it. All right, so we are in first, but our pitching's not great. And if a team wants to contend and a team wants to win, they're going to go out to some of those, you know, teams that aren't performing and try to pick up some of those pitchers or those players that are performing. Reds, dead last in the division. Sonny Gray coming to an end of his contract. The Reds, I feel like, would want to move him. I'm going to give him Jose Suarez, Deshaun Knowles, and Leonardo Rivas. I feel like this is a pretty even trade. Like, you get a potential outfielder, I think it's a high potential third baseman, and then a decent pitcher who is not too far off from being MLB ready in Jose Suarez. You know what? I think that's a pretty good trade. Pitching's not going great for us at all. I really want to strengthen our pitching staff, especially since a lot of these guys are on 1-year deals. So let's try to get one more starter. All right, Adam Warren, Jack Mayfield, and Noni Williams are going to get me Daniel McGrath. A player who's 27, hasn't pitched in the majors before, and becomes a free agent. So, like, I feel like this is a guy who probably wouldn't get a big return. You're probably looking at mid to low level prospects from the Pirates who don't make good trades anyways. Let's get that pickup. So, with the changes to the squad, obviously Sonny Gray is going to hop into this. I'm going to... Like, you can see, pitching is just not going great. So I'm going to make Sonny Gray our ace. Griffin Canning can drop down a little bit. Maybe send down Sandoval. Man, how are we going to do this? I'm going to send down Barria and Sandoval. yeah, I'm gonna let them just chill for a season. You know, like get back into the groove. We'll go like that. Send him down as well. And that should actually help us out a little bit. Offensively, like I said, we've been good. The bullpen's still kind of like, but offensively, we're okay. I wanted to get rid of Justin Upton, but I feel like that wouldn't be something that would happen. So we're going to leave it there. All right, as you can see, 94 and 68. But it looks like deja vu. We're taking on the Yankees once again. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see how it went around the league. ERA, not great. ERA, not great. So I said I wanted to spend big on pitching. I definitely am going to have the money to do it this offseason. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend on pitching. I feel like with the Angels, knowing that, you know, Mike Trout's not getting any younger, you finally have the money to spend it. I definitely can see them going out, spending some money on some pitching, because I feel like that's the main thing that the Angels have been missing. We tried to make a couple trades to acquire some pitchers to help us out. Yes, we won the division, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough. You can see Mike Trout still putting up MVP type numbers. Ooh, okay, Andrew Heaney, I see you. So maybe we have one bright spot in the team. So here we are. We can see the league leaders, Jason Dominguez. I mean, it's an all right season. I saw he had double-digit triples. He might have led the league. Oh, one behind the league leader, Miles Straw. 55 home runs for Mookie Betts and 48 for Trout. All right, let's take a look at the awards. Trout MVP and a Hank Aaron Award. Okay. That guy named Randy. Fair enough. I know it's not that guy named Randy. It's that MF named Randy. So here we go. Let's see what we have here around the league for awards. Did I just see Mitch Moreland up there? Okay, Luke Jackson, Nick Anderson, we got Spencer Torkelson, and then Christian Pache. We got Daniel McGrath as well. So maybe he's someone to look out for the future. Maybe he's a piece that we can really, you know, help out this rotation. Maybe as a 5, because what we had going was not great. And looking at our bullpen once again, it's not doing well. Givens and Iglesias, though, have been fantastic. So maybe they're our setup closer go-to, and we just have to spend money on the bullpen, because right now it's not looking too fantastic. And I don't know if we really have anybody that we can turn to. Maybe David Valencia. I think he's a little bit too young. Maybe he's just not ready yet. I think maybe next year, like not this coming year, but the year after. We'll have to wait and see. Sonny Gray was decent. He would be potentially a player I would look to bring back depending on the contract. We may end up looking in a different direction. Andrew Heaney, I'm going to pick up the $10.5 million option. It's like nothing, and I feel like he improved, so you got to give him another shot. Chris Archer, no thank you. Griffin Canning, what happened? What happened? And then Dylan Bundy, and then Sonny Gray again. So looking at this, I don't really see a pitcher who's MLB ready just yet. You know, you're looking at some of the stats here or their attributes, and they're just not there yet. You know, they're close, but just not there. So when we take a look at our farm system as well, D Bain. I'm tempted. We also have Brandon Marsh, Willingham. I think Willingham's got a chance to start next season. Robel Garcia, no. Jeremiah Jackson, and Joe Adell. Joe Adell, maybe not. Maybe Brandon Marsh. Maybe. Let's take a look at our bench. Taylor Ward is actually turning out to be a pretty solid bench bat for us. Like, he might be one of those that sneaks into the lineup. You know, I don't know how. Maybe in left field. Save the money, use it somewhere else. David Fletcher had a decent year. Same with Shohei. Mike Trout, of course. Rendon, love to see it. Jared Walsh, there we go. That's the numbers I was looking for. Finally delivers. Corey Dickerson, you know what? That's a solid bench bat. That's a player I would consider bringing back, especially with those numbers. Michael Chavis, he's putting up decent numbers, right? 24 home runs, 22 doubles. Those aren't bad. It's just like the on-base percentage isn't great. The OPS isn't great. He just strikes out quite a bit. And I feel like we can get a better player, you know? Brian O'Keefe, not great. And then Justin Upton, of course, not great. So we're going to be looking to replace maybe the catcher spot, or definitely the left field spot. We can bring up Brandon Marsh. We can go to Taylor Ward, save some money. Second base, I think we're gonna take the jump, and we're gonna give it to J.R. Willingham. Have I been saying J.B. Willingham? I don't know, man. What's going on with me today? It's just one of those days. So here we go. Taking on the Yankees once again. We take a loss. We get that win, though. That's a big win right there. And Chris Archer, man. Let's give it to Griffin Canning. Griffin Canning, Garrett Cole. Crazy matchup. We lose. We get the win, though. And you know what? This is a game I'd be willing to quick sim. Let's quickly get into it. And let's see how this goes. You know what? I have faith. I have faith. We're gonna go to Sonny Gray. He's gonna face Luis Severino. And just looking over, making sure I wasn't covering like the lineup or anything. And Chavis keeps the inning alive. Of course, a fly out there, a double, a ground out. Okay, so nothing's going on too much. Sonny Gray's pitching decent. I mean, we're getting on base. Bases loaded for Chavis, a sac fly. I will take that. You know what? Why? Why can't we just keep a lead, man? We gotta keep that. No, Gary, don't do that. All right, a double. Let's take him out. Let's go to Barnes. He gets us out of the inning, and went to the bullpen a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But you know what? I think that's the ball game right there. I think that's just the one thing that's gonna be okay. Maybe not. Come on, we have to score like one more run though. We're threatening Mike Trout. And then a double play by Rendon. Not the best. Butcher, I need a good inning from you. 1-2, not 1-2-3, but you know what? Almost. First and second. 2-run score thanks to the Chavis triple. Are you kidding me? A double play? Oh, come on. Hit by pitch. A single. Another run comes in. Mike Trout loads the bases. Oh, man, talk about an inning. We're going to go to our setup guy, Givens, who's been so good for us. And you know what? Okay, 1 run. That's okay. We still have the lead. And we didn't extend the lead, but we're going to go to Rizal. He's been lights out during the season. Please don't blow this. Fielder's choice, a walk. Got a little sketchy there at the end, but you know what? We advance. We're taking on the White Sox now. We just had Sonny Gray pitch, so I'm gonna bump him down a couple spots, and we'll go like that. Chris Archer did have a good outing, but you know what? We gotta see. Not the best. Come on, Chris Archer gets us the win. Dylan Bundy, we're 1 game away from elimination. We get the win, and again, let's hop into this elimination game and see how it goes. You know what? I'm feeling good. Griffin Canning. All right, it's Dylan Cease. It's one of the lower rated starters. So, like, I feel like we can get the offense. I just need Griffin Canning to do well. Double play there. That's okay. Rendon gets the run in. 1 run for us. Double play was huge. We just couldn't get that 3rd out before they scored. So, 1-1. It's basically just all squared up again. It's basically like 0. I was going to say it's like 0-0. And now things are getting out of hand. Let's go McGrath. And 6-1, man. That's unreal. And offense is looking like it's stalled out a little bit. 2 more runs cross the plate. And I was hoping our offense would have exploded this game. And maybe it could right here. It doesn't. And McGrath has allowed 2 runs. It's just not great. So 8-1. Unless we get some crazy amount of runs this inning, I don't expect us to come back. But okay, maybe a little late inning flurry. And McGrath pitched well. Like he allowed 2 runs for the whole rest of the game after Griffin Canning completely blew it. And it all comes down to this inning, and just couldn't do it. That is super disappointing. Griffin Canning really let me down there. And the White Sox defeat the Cubs and all Chicago World Series. 1 game short, man. 1 game short. Exclusive negotiations. I said I was gonna pick up this option. Claudio. That's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. What does Sonny Gray want? 20 mil. Ooh, that's a tough one. Rizal, definitely. Rizal's been unbelievable. He's definitely going to be our closer. He's been lights out. Like, there's no reason to not believe in him. I would even say that maybe giving him a 2-year deal. But just because I feel like the 1-year deal is kind of something that teams are doing nowadays. Let's stick to it. Dylan Bundy didn't earn another shot. He wasn't great. Corey Dickerson, I feel like, you know what? As a platoon guy, that's perfectly fine. 4 mil for him. That's like nothing. Alex Claudio, because lefties are hard to come by, I'm going to exercise this option. And honestly, if we're trying to win, we're trying to turn this team around, I feel like the Angels would be like, you know what? We're going to look somewhere else. We're going to go in a different direction. Sonny Gray is a guy I'm going to keep my eye on, but 20 mil is a lot. And I don't know if that's worth it. You know, yes, an ace is usually worth that kind of money, but at the same time, he didn't really put up like ace numbers. You know what I mean? He had a good season, but it wasn't fantastic. I'm definitely going to add a couple of those younger guys to the 40-man. Arbitration. Faria is a guy I'm not too sure of. But I think I'm going to make an offer of an arbitration offer to all of them. And then, of course, in the contracts, everybody's going to get one. Daniel McGrath was fantastic. He potentially could just be a fifth starter for us, you know, to save us some money, because we do have a couple guys that could get another chance here. You know, we've got, I don't know about this guy. I don't know just yet, but we have people like Jaime Barria who should get a boost if he gets called up. And I think this spot fits him. We would just need a couple bullpen arms, a couple starters. All right, let's get into the third season. Technically the third season. I know we did 2020, but we're looking pretty good. So you guys can see here, 2021, 2022, and we're pretty solid. Like, we won the division. We reached the postseason. We won the division, but we lost in the ALCS. Whatever. Anyways, so basically things are going well. We've just been kind of one step short of the World Series, and let's take a look at what we did this offseason, because there were a couple changes. I just signed David Fletcher to an extension. I did a 3-year extension just because David Fletcher is a weird guy. Sometimes he absolutely kills it. Sometimes he just does absolutely terrible after a couple seasons. So I'm hoping that he absolutely kills it and we have David Fletcher for the future. And I'm pretty sure I already showed you the draft pick, so I'm not going to show you again. But I brought in a couple prospects, Garrison Moreno kind of being one of them that I was like, ooh, that's a decent little pickup for the bullpen. Michael Givens, Pedro Severino as a backup catcher, or possibly like a platoon guy with O'Keefe. You've got Nick Whitgren, who, I mean, has been lights out. I'm not too sure why Cleveland let go of him, but I was like, we need bullpen help. We need pitching help in general. I'm going to pick him up. I gave him a 2-year deal, $4.5 million. We've got Richard Ferris, who was sitting there in free agency. I thought, you know what? He looks pretty decent, could potentially help us out in the future. Tommy Kahnle. Yep, that's right. $6.5 million for the next 2 years. He's been pretty bad in 2021, but 2022 was really good. 2020 was really good as well, but like limited innings, 19 innings over 2 seasons is insane. So I'm really basing it off of 2022, and he had a good year. Jose Barrios was my big acquisition. I thought, we have the money, let's go out and spend it. I feel like if we have it and we're trying to win, we've got Trout, Ohtani, we've got these players starting to hit their prime. You know, some are starting to hit the later ends of their prime. We got to go out and spend the money. I spent about 20, I think it averages to about 29. I wanted to get Aaron Nola, but he wanted like a max deal, and his numbers were worse than what Jose Barrios was putting up, so on average. So I felt like, let's go Jose Barrios. I got this guy, just depth piece. Ohtani, we've already talked about him getting an extension, and Daniel McGrath, we did the trade. So there was one thing that I've noticed with this, is that we still got some money to play with, and I'm looking at the team. I'm thinking we're doing okay. This is currently what we're looking like. McGrath, who definitely proved that he deserves a spot in the rotation after last year. Heaney, I'm still a little Jaime Barria as a 5, I don't hate it. And then you can see the additions of Whitgren and Kahnle. We brought back Rizal. Things are looking better. I kind of like the way the rotation and the bullpen are starting to shape up. And then on top of that, the lineup, you know, Chavis got put to the bench. I'm gonna throw Joe Adell into the deep end. I want to see how he does compared to Michael Chavis. And yeah, this is the team. J.R. Willingham is getting the call up as well. I mean, we're looking strong. I looked at free agency when the spring training started. Look at these players. Brantley, Moustakas. You've got a couple other decent ones. Tanaka, who I know went back to, Japan this year. But like Pinder's available, and like he actually looks decent. Like he actually looks like he could help us out if given the chance. Andrews, Jesus Aguilar. There's some decent names here that probably could help us out. But then I look at the team and I go, does anybody we have really get replaced? Like, does Moustakas really change or like do better than Willingham. He has a little bit more power, but Willingham has better contact, better fielding, more speed. He's younger. He's going to develop. On top of that, the only other player I looked at was Brantley, and I thought I'd rather go a little bit younger, go Joe Waddell, let him develop than an aging Brantley. So again, I feel like with the direction this team is headed, I would rather go younger than older, and I would rather spend on pitching and just let the offense develop. So let's go that way. I want to see where we stand in the league as a team. We currently are 11th. I mean, we've made the postseason ranked lower, so I feel like we should be doing pretty good. Let's see if any pending transactions are interesting to us. I don't think so. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass. So yeah, there we are. You know what? I have faith in the team. We have second contact. Everything else looks pretty decent. I'll see you guys possibly at the deadline or at the end of the season. All right, we won the division 99-63, taking on the Twins. There we go. Another division title, and we won it by 10. ERA is a little high, but the team average is through the roof. So the offense is definitely carrying the team. I thought the pitching changes we made would help us out, so it's looking like we still need to improve on the pitching. But wild card went to the Astros and the Blue Jays. The Phillies. Ooh, the Phillies are looking like a pretty strong team. We'll take a look at them and the Red Sox. Okay, well, let's first go take a look at the Red Sox, see what their lineup's looking like. Some interesting additions. Jonathan Scope, Jake Marisnick, Ronaldo Hernandez, Solano, Peralta. Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at the Phillies now. That was the other team. Oh, Jorge Soler, Trey Mancini, Baez. They just went all out, huh? Okay, I see you. And we got Shohei, David Fletcher, Shohei again, and Trout, all offensive numbers. Andrew Heaney with a season. Ooh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here so you guys can see some of the league leading stats and things like that. It looks like Soto had quite the year with 49 home runs. Lindor on the Athletics, that's interesting. Definitely something I wouldn't expect. Tim Anderson on the Yankees, huh? Some wild changes so far. Okay. Pretty wild. All right. We have a Silver Slugger, a Rookie of the Year, a Hank Aaron Award, and then a Cy Young. Okay. So Shohei just outside of the MVP race. Soto won it on the other side. Zach Wheeler and Andrew Heaney. Jeez, what a season. Holy cow. The batting titles, we've got Reliever of the Year went to Hader, and then nobody on the American League deserved the award. That's just ridiculous. How is that not fixed? We had two players in the mix for the Rookie of the Year, and then Tyler Callahan won it on the NL side. So let's take a look here, see how we did with the pitching, because I mean, it's an improvement, but it's still not great, you know? Like, I don't know. Do we give him another shot? I feel like we should. He's still young. He'll still develop. He did improve, but I don't know. Alex Claudio had a fantastic season. He does become a free agent, and it's one of those things where, like, are we going to get a 2023 Alex Claudio, or are we going to get like a 2020 Alex Claudio? It's really difficult to tell. Nick Whitgren had a pretty solid season. Michael Givens, the whip's really low, but the ERA is a little high. It's one of those things where it's like, it's good and it's bad, you know. It's kind of giving me mixed emotions here. Ty Buttrey was solid. Tommy Kahnle, Tommy Kahnle is another one of those guys who just never does well for me. It sucks. And then Raisel Iglesias, the ERA is high, the whip's an okay spot, but it might be a time to just, you know what, let some of these guys walk and really try to bring in, you know, top end relievers rather than trying to save a little bit of money and bringing in players that are doing okay. Jose Barrios, not the best. Like, the whip's not bad, but the ERA is a little high. Was expecting more. Andrew Heaney is definitely the ace of this rotation right now. You got Griffin Canning, who's just, he's not panning out. You know, I think he's going to end up being more of a 4 or 5 in our rotation. Daniel McGrath didn't really show us that he can continue to do the job. And then Jaime Barria, like, the whip's not bad, but the ERA is high. Like, it's just not working out. Do we give the shots to, like, some of the younger guys who potentially could do really well, like Reed Detmers? I'd be down to give him a shot since, you know, we're it's just not looking great. We do have some decent bullpen options in Moreno, who looks fantastic, along with David Valencia. I think David Valencia definitely has earned himself a chance in our bullpen. Oof. Michael Chavis, talk about a season, 90 games, 20 home runs. So it's looking like he's more of a DH platoon guy for us, because those are good numbers. We've got him for one more year. Let's keep him around. Taylor Ward still putting up really good numbers. You know, like the OPS isn't there, but I'm pretty happy with his on-base percentage for a bench bat. Franklin Loretto, Matt Thaiss was decent, 29 appearances, but a hit in 10 of them. I'll take that for sure. Brian O'Keefe, and then back to Michael Chavis. So let's see how our team did here. Yo, there we go. 408 on base percentage for Fletcher. Shohei, great season. Unbelievable season. Trout still putting up very Trout-esque numbers. Rendon, pretty comparable to last year, so I'm not upset with it at all. Jared Walsh is putting up phenomenal numbers. Arbitration, I might look to extend his contract. Just depends on how much he wants. Corey Dickerson did take a little bit of a step back, which is okay. We have players who can look to replace him. You know, Chavis as a DH. We've got Taylor Ward, and we also have Brandon Marsh. You know, we have options below us that definitely could come up. Even Dan Bain could come up and be an option for us. Joe Adell was Rookie of the Year, and I'm pretty happy with those numbers for sure. Severino, not great. And then J.R. Willingham was third in the Rookie of the Year voting. Good year. I'm really happy that we picked this guy up. I think he's going to be a really good addition to the team. And here we go. Time to take on the Twins. And we advance. Perfect. Love to see it. Taking on the Blue Jays now. Let's get our team set up for this. Barrios had a really good outing. Hopefully he can continue it. Gets us the win. 2 wins in a row. Take the loss there, the win there, and let's get Jose Barrios on this game here. As much as like Jaime Barria, you know, has been okay, I got to put the starter, the best foot forward, and we lose. Tony Gonsolin's on the Blue Jays? So we're up 3-2. We lose again. Please don't do this to me, man. Please don't do this to me. We're 1 game away from a World Series. 1 game away. We're gonna take on the Padres in the World Series if we can win this game. And like, everyone's tired, man. And look at Heaney, a 1.31 ERA. I'm torn now. I guess we have to go Barria. Like last year we gave it to Canning. He was terrible. And looking at their lineup, they've got Michael Franco, Tyler Naquin, but that's like, you see that. I mean, that's a good way to respond. But 3 runs right off the rip, that's just not what you want. Like, you hate, like, that's just a terrible way to get things started. We tried to get the tying run in, and it didn't work out. Bases loaded now. Luckily, we get out of that jam. And Jared Walsh, thank you for tying it up. Like, if I can get 4 innings, he's done. He's done. We got to take him out. It's not going well, man. Let's hope Griffin Canning can come in and help us out and just stop the bleeding right now. We need to get some offense going. Corey Dickerson, a ground out. That's just, it's over. It's game over. It's done. Like, it's over. Like, how are we so poor? So poor, man. It's right there. It's so close. Unless we hit like a grand slam here, a sac fly. I mean, it's not terrible, but like, we should be scoring 8, 9, 10 runs. We've left so many runners in scoring position. It is unbelievable. I mean, it comes down to these last 2 innings. Can we do anything? David Fletcher's okay. A strikeout. It's just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. 11-5. We have 12 hits. We're competing with them, and we're not even close. Not even close. Unreal. Who's going to win, the Blue Jays or the Padres? The Blue Jays defeat the Padres. Unreal, man. I can't believe it. Twice now, we have fallen 1 game short of a World Series. I'm spending on pitching. I don't trust any of the back end of the rotation. We need change. Andrew Heaney, phenomenal season. You probably want it. I'll give you a player option for 3 years. You know, we'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes. We'll back end this. 32. Yeah, we'll do like a both option, and I'll even bump this up. And then at the end of the year, we'll talk about it, see how it goes. If we part ways, you know, we pay you a little severance package, but we'll do something like this. There it is. Alex Claudio, I'm not sure of. Iglesias, Dickerson, and Gibbons, though. Ooh, Gibbons has been one of those guys where it's like, he's been good. And I feel like he's been a good acquisition for us to be a middle of the bullpen type guy. You know, stick him in the 7th, maybe the 6th if you really need to. He's been good. He's been good for us. Alex Claudio, so hit or miss, man. Lefties are tough to come by though, so I gotta put my faith in him. Unfortunately. And Rizal, he definitely took a downturn. I'm gonna pass. Same thing with Dickerson. If we're trying to win, we gotta put our best foot forward. And let's see how much money we have to play with. 3 mil is plenty. Offensively, I thought we had a really good team. A really good team. Our DH is probably going to be, you know, just a split between a lot of different players. Chavis versus lefties, maybe Theis versus righties, maybe Taylor Ward versus righties. Maybe we pick somebody up in free agency that's available. Cody Bellinger, Matt Chapman, definitely not realistic options. But pitching is where I want to spend my money. Realistically, I'm thinking it's going to look something like this with these two up the top. I'm thinking maybe Canning is like a 4 or a 3, and we got to figure something out here. Bullpen is Valencia's coming up. He's 100% coming up. He's going to be in the team. So honestly, this might be our bullpen. This might be it. I'm going to throw Valencia in the deep end. He's our closer. He's been working hard. I have a good feeling about it. Maybe Givens is our setup guy, and leave it like this. It's crazy. Sandoval's there, and we just look to bring in new pitchers. You know, I would love to try to put Detmers or Aponte in, but I don't know if their stats are ready just yet. Maybe Detmers as a 5, and we go out and spend money on one pitcher. That way we're not like completely changing up the rotation. That might be the move. So who is the guy we go after? I'm definitely gonna look around. Giolito, bring him back to California. Tyler Glasnow, bring him back to California, but he's been pretty rough. So I'm gonna take a look around, see who's available, see who we can pick up. Maybe Jack Flaherty, bring him back home. We'll have to wait and see. Bullpen, like I said, I would like to spend money, but I feel like we have the options, you know, available in the club already. I might sign this guy just to have some depth in the bullpen. All right, season 4. This has got to be the season. We've been making the moves. We've got some of our prospects that are starting to hit the lineup. They're starting to look really good. On top of that, we've made a huge signing. You guys can see him on screen. So let's go take a look. Let's go see how the offseason went. Joe Garner, I mentioned this guy. He's from Cuba, apparently. Joe Garner, what a name, but he looks decent. Could be good for the future. Our draft was all right. It wasn't anything special. James Bell kind of being the main guy to take from this. We also had Dan Cazeta. It looks all right. Nothing special. David Fletcher, we already talked about. Torian Encarnacion, brought him in as a future prospect. Looks more of like a DH for the future. Jesse Franklin, kind of the same thing, just somebody in the future. Jeffrey Hopkins, same thing. We needed a little bit of outfield depth for the minors. I decided to pick up a couple players. And the one guy I decided to spend money on, Jack Flaherty, bring him back to California. The Cardinals haven't been cutting it, so I decided to bring him in. We need to spend on pitching, and we have spent bringing in Barrios, Flaherty. On top of that, we signed Heaney. You know, Canning, kind of, I don't know about him, man. We've got Detmers. Aponte's right around the corner. I think definitely bring him up maybe later in this year. Or if McGrath doesn't do well, we bring up Aponte and put him in that spot. The bullpen is basically untouched. It's not great, but like, I just don't want to make trades for bullpen arms. I feel like we've paid these players. We might as well use them, right? Like, that's kind of the thing. No team's gonna be like, hey, we just spent $8 million on a reliever. Let's trade for somebody else who's better. You know, like if they're paying the reliever, they're gonna use them. So we just made some bad financial decisions. It happens, you know, like was it Joe Exotic, where he's like, I'm never gonna financially recover from this. You know, we're basically in that situation where we paid certain players we probably shouldn't have. You can see our budget's a little tight. It sucks, but you know what? You know, certain players do come off the books. Canely, potentially, if Canning doesn't do anything, we could get rid of him. Claudio, a couple other guys. So like, we will have a little bit of money to play with this offseason. But I think offensively, no worries at all. We've been really, really good. This isn't my worry. Like, this looks so good. So good. Brandon Marsh is getting in the mix. Chavis is going to be the DH versus lefties. This is like my fallback. This is my crutch. This is the area where I'm like, I don't have to worry about the lineup. The pitching, though. Oh, man, it's been so hit or miss. It's been so shoddy. And I really think it's the starters, man. That's what's been losing us games, especially in the postseason. Those game sevens, we let up 10 runs, 9 runs, and we just can't come back from that. So hopefully the addition of Flaherty, we have Barrios, Heaney. That's a good 1-2-3. Hopefully Canning can put it together. Hopefully Reed Detmers can be a solid 5. If not, maybe we go to a Ponte, move Detmers to the bullpen. We'll see. We'd have the options to kind of mix and match, see what works best. I'm going to keep my eye on it a lot this offseason, see how it goes. And, yeah, I mean, we have some good players in the farm system. Aponte, Barria, Yan. We've got some good young arms. We have Garrison Moreno, who could potentially come up if one of these bullpen guys doesn't do well. We have Joe Gardner. We just signed him. He could, you know, if things don't go well, we could bring him up. So we have the options. We have the players. I'm excited to see how this season goes. We are currently ranked 4th, 1st in contact, 5th in power, 2nd in pitching. The defense, I feel like we've got a decent defense. I don't understand. Like Shohei, Trout. In left, you've got Joe Waddell. Shortstop, we've got Fletcher. Second base, Willingham. Rendon at 3rd. Like, that's not a bad defense. I don't know where they're getting that bad defense rating. So let's see how it goes. I'm kind of excited. I think this is the year. Season 4, let's do it. Another division title, but that doesn't mean anything if we can't win the World Series. 99-63, we won the division. Okay, so again, division title, it's fantastic, it's great. It's you know, we've definitely shown we can dominate the West, but we're just missing that last step. And I feel like the ERA, it's going down, but it's not good enough. Looks like our offense took a little bit of a hit as well, but the Braves are good. Wow, the Braves are real good. And the Padres, of course, are going to be good. And let's see how we do. We've got a couple league leaders, David Fletcher and Jose Barrios. Biggio on the Royals. Okay, Ian Happ on the Reds. You got Benintendi, of course, on the Royals. And any other big changes? Trey Turner on the Rangers, along with Jose Ramirez. Oh, okay. Cedric Mullins popping off? What is this nonsense? And of course, you know, you see the home run leaders and awards. Let's see what we got. Rookie of the Year. Another Rookie of the Year. Willie Adames with the MVP. Soto on the other side. Jose Barrios just missed out. Oh, man. Trevor Bauer on the Blue Jays. Please, let's not line up against the Blue Jays. Crochet won Reliever of the Year. And then Brandon Marsh wins Rookie of the Year. And Wander Franco on the Cubs. Interesting. So let's see how things went here. Detmers and McGrath both were getting lit up. It was just, you know, pick the worst or pick the better of the two bads, basically. Claudio, again, I'll take that. That's actually pretty solid. Whitgren was good. Canely was solid. The whip's kind of high there. Ty Buttrey had a good year. Again, the whip is a little high, though. That's not something you want to see. Givens, whoo, I'm glad we brought you back. And then we threw David Valencia in the deep end, gave the young guy the closer spot, and he held it down. Jack Flaherty had a really solid season. You know what? I'll take it. You know, it's good. I'll definitely take it. Jose Barrios, you know, pretty similar if you look at like the whip and the ERA, pretty similar season. Andrew Heaney is continuing to dominate the mound. Oof. I brought him up hoping that he could do something, and wow, did he get rocked. And then Griffin Canning, I don't know what it is with Griffin Canning in franchise. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is. Like his attributes aren't bad. It's just he's never good. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know. I've tried multiple times with Griffin Canning. He just can't put it together. David Fletcher's still putting up really good numbers. Ohtani still solid, 30 home runs. Trout-esque numbers. Rendon still putting up stupid numbers. Jared Walsh, He was a guy I was worried that would actually start to go down, and that's why I kind of held off on giving him a contract, especially since we just paid Flaherty a big contract. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to afford it. Yes, the numbers are great. I'm just worried that he's going to, start to fall off. We do have Matt Thaiss, who I think could definitely put up similar numbers. He's very, very, very small sample size, but I feel like we have the players that could step in. Also, there is a possibility that you could be like, hey, Shohei, you're really good. You've had elbow issues before, throwing issues. So maybe consider moving him to the infield so that you have Marsh and Adele, both younger players in the outfield. That would be something that maybe could come up down the line as Shohei gets older. You got J.R. Willingham, who still put up a really solid season. Joe Adele definitely took a step back. Pedro Severino, and then Brandon Marsh. I'll take it. Not great, but you know what? It's not terrible. You definitely have this guy as well, which could also bring up the thing where it's like, hey, Ohtani, get to the infield. We still want the bat. We still want you in the lineup. But I feel like we could use you in a different position, especially if you want to help out the team. So here we go. The Rays, man, we got it. We got to get a dub here. We take a loss, man. The bullpen back to back. Why, man? Why can't we get hope? I don't know what to do. I just feel like I'm cursed when it comes to rebuilds. The Padres defeat the Rays. We got to give it one more year, one more season. It'll be the 5th year with this team, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it'll be our 5th year. We'll call it 5 years, and we'll see how it goes. Bullpen let me down. That's my target. Heaney, fantastic season. You're coming back. Whitgren, you're coming back. We'll do a 1-year deal, $6 million. Tommy Kahnle, Alex Claudio. You know what? 1 more year. He was good. He wasn't the problem this year. So these 2 guys, yes. Tommy Kahnle, I don't have faith in. Just never does well for me on franchise. He always lets me down. Michael Givens, dude. Is this the year he just falls off? I think it is. He's been great, but we got to move on. Ty Buttrey. I'm going to move on. I want to top 2 guys we're going to take. The rest, we're going to move on. The bullpen's been the issue. We got to make some big changes. He exercises options? No, of course I don't want to change. We're sticking with the team, Starting rotation, I'm not worried about. The bullpen, definitely. We need 3 bullpen arms. I think we have 1 that we could turn to in Moreno. I am going to give him a shot. I think he's someone that definitely deserves a shot. That way we save a little bit of money, and I feel like that's something that a team would do anyways. If they have a really good young arm that's been doing well, they're going to use him rather than going out and spend a lot of money. Bullpen time. Scott Barlow. No thank you. Paul Fry. Ooh, solid lefty. Is he a closer or is he a setup guy? He's a closer, and I don't know how he'll do outside of that closer role. Some players, like, as soon as you take him out of like a certain spot in the bullpen, it just doesn't go well. So he wants a lot of money to be in the bullpen. I'm going to have to see what other options are available, who's been doing well, and see who we can get. Starters, I'm going to stay away from. As much as I would love to pick up a starter, I don't want to. On top of that, we just don't have a lot of money. So let's pay the players we have. Let's keep the team that we have, and let's go from there. Again, offense, I feel like players are going to develop. Players are going to do fine. We've really got to shore up this pitching. So I'm still in the off season, but I did want to pick up a reliever that was available. I think, when you're looking at a reliever, Dylan Floro's really good. He's been really good for the last few seasons. He's on a very team-friendly contract. Probably wants to be a closer, but realistically, he's going to be either a setup guy or a middle relief guy for us. And with the Marlins, they're not necessarily competing right now, and they could use some MLB pitching, or kind of like on the fringe of being MLB pitching. So I was looking around. I thought maybe they could use another outfielder, maybe a younger outfielder, but then I looked at it. Now I'm looking at it. They probably don't. If anything, they're probably looking for like a middle infielder. Maybe not even that. Ooh, what could they use? A catcher? I don't really have a catcher. So it looks like they could just use like MLB ready starter. And I'm looking at it. I've got a couple, like Daniel McGrath. I mean, it's about what they have anyways. And it's a pretty friendly contract. It gets the deal done. And also, I'm just going to throw in like a lower end prospect just to kind of be like, hey, yeah, the trade's not fantastic, but at least you'll get something else as well. Maybe a little infielder, just to make the deal a little bit sweeter for them, especially for a reliever who's been one of the best in baseball. So that's the trade I'm going to do there. And then I was looking around in other places because you guys can kind of see what we're working with. We could use a long reliever. We have plenty of players who could be a long reliever. We also need a catcher. None are good on the free agency market, which means I could be looking for a catcher through a trade, which we have plenty of prospects to make that happen. And realistically, that's probably the way we're gonna have to do it, is just make some trades with prospects, because we have so many. So I'm trying to see like what bad teams have a catcher. So I'm thinking like the Tigers have been kind of the Royals they've been all right, but I'm thinking like I guess we could have gone to the Marlins. The Nationals have been okay. The Reds have been pretty bad, but like their catcher situation isn't much better. The Brewers, the Pirates, they picked up Francisco Alvarez, Tony Walters as well. The only other team that I know have been doing bad are the Diamondbacks, who have just a plethora of prospects for catchers, and then also the Rockies, which, you know, I could go to the Giants and maybe snag Patrick Bailey or Joey Bart, but again, like they're not doing anything. So like the catcher market's pretty bad right now. It's pretty tough to try to find a good one. I don't really know what to do to try to pick one up. I don't really think there's even one that I could pick up that would fit the whole like realistic trade scheme. So I think we're just gonna have to hope someone pops up in free agency, because there really isn't one available. Last season, this is definitely the last season. I gotta hang it up at some point. This is the make or break year. Travis d'Arnaud is gonna be our catcher. I felt like going out for a trade, just as much as we have the prospects to do it. I guess I could go around the league and see like who's really poorly ranked and just try to, maybe the Twins have a catcher for us or the Tigers have a catcher for us. All right, so since I know Yasmani Grandal is a brand new signing for this team, and it looks like they do need some outfield help, probably more so like prospects, because it's looking a little weak, maybe like close to MLB ready. I might give up Jordan Adams here. Why is the injury situation still bad? The whole roster's sorted. So let me see what I have to do to get this trade with Mitch Garver, because there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to make this trade. Let's see what they want. They want Richard Ferris or Alex Claudio. No, you can have Richard Ferris if you want him. He's a backup for us. But why can't I make this deal happen? I don't understand. Everything looks good. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to. Is it the Twins that don't have enough players? That could be the issue, that the Twins don't have enough players. We're the Twins. They don't have enough players. That's their problem. That's holding us back from making a trade. Dude, this game is so broken. That's unreal. And that's the only way I can get this trade to happen. Unless I send them like a AAA catcher or something. Are you serious? I'm not going to be able to make a trade because of... Are you... So dumb, dude. I gotta find a new catcher then. All right, screw it. I mean, whatever. We're leaving it. It's so dumb that that's the case, that I can't trade, because I'm even in the regular season. So like all the rosters should be sorted, but unfortunately they're not. Our budget's really tight as expected. You know, we've got some big contracts here, right? We've got some big contracts. We also got a lot of people becoming free agents. So let me show you the players that we have from last year. So Travis d'Arnaud, the big prospect is Brian Gonzalez. Unfortunately, we probably won't see him. He looks really good though, really good. And I brought in Ryan Barucki. He's had really good seasons the last couple of years, so I figured let's throw him in the middle relief spot. We need the lefty anyways. This guy was available. Johnny Clem, a potential. I'm not ready to use him just yet, but he looks like he could be a good catcher for us. And then of course the trade for Dylan Floro. I didn't have the money to really go out and spend a lot. I did want to improve the bullpen. We went out and got Barucki. We went out and got Floro. Moreno was someone that we didn't even use last year. We're going to give him a shot. Wickren and Claudio were solid. And then, of course, Valencia was really good. This is an area that I feel like these three are good. I can't trade Canning. You know, as good as he or as bad as he has been, it would just break the whole realism thing. Like no teams is gonna give up on a promising young pitcher, even if he's been doing poorly. They're gonna try to stick it out. And of course, if it's a pitcher is not doing well, no team's gonna want him. You know, so we're gonna stick with some of the young guys that we have. We're going to hope that they do well. Offensively, it's kind of the same case. I wanted to get some of these young guys involved. You know, Gonzalez, Paris, Jackson, Clem. Who was that? Oh, we got Dan Bain. We couldn't even get him in the mix. I mean, we just got really lucky, and we were able to build a God squad on offense. Even Chavis has been decent for us. If I was to get rid of somebody, it probably would be Chavis. He becomes a free agent, and we don't necessarily need him. We could call up Bain instead. But I feel like that probably would weaken us. So I'm going to leave it with this team. We're currently ranked 8th, first in contact, 2nd in power, 3rd in pitching. The defense and speed is what's holding us back. But I like the team. I feel like we've done a really good job keeping it realistic, giving up trades that like would be somewhat realistic as well, and only making acquisitions for a majority of them through free agency. So yeah, here we go. Final season. 109-53, we won the division, taking on the winner of the wild card playoff. There we go. So we are the best team in the AL on paper. Team ERA, team average, looks great, right? Athletics and the Yankees are the wild card. The Braves, the Cardinals, the Padres took the West, and then you got the Dodgers and the Mets. So who's the number 1 team in baseball? Is it a team that did really bad? It's the Braves. Okay, so they won the East. All right, I was looking. Trout led the league in RBIs and home runs, and then Flaherty had the best whip and WAR. Okay, like seeing that. Bellinger on the Padres. Wow. Okay. Excuse me. That's a big pickup in center field for them. Looking at the rest of the league, Harold Ramirez with the Indians. Okay, just I guess hit the ball really well this season. Holy cow. Fran Mill with the Marlins. Trout. Juan Soto with the Indians. Really? Oh, that's okay. Awards, we got an MVP. That was it. Okay, cool. An MVP. Tatis won MVP on the other side. Stroman won Cy Young, and then Trevor Bauer won back-to-back years. Looking at the rest, Robert Pawson, okay. And then Mick Abel. So no rookie of the years for us, but I don't even think we had any rookies on the team. Reed Detmers didn't do well, unfortunately. I think it has to do with the hits per 9 and the walks per 9 being low. It's just not developing quickly. Alex Claudio, I'm glad we stuck with him. He's been fantastic. Whitgren, the same thing. Garrison Moreno, not a bad first season. Same thing with Ryan Barucki. Okay, I'll take it. Dylan Floro, fantastic. And David Valencia, I'm telling you, we got ourselves a closer for the foreseeable future. Definitely holding it down in this spot. Rolando Aponte was getting rocked. He just wasn't having a good time. Again, I think maybe the walks per 9's holding him back. He doesn't have bad stats. I think he just needed like just a little bit of seasoning, like I usually say. Patrick Sandoval didn't get a shot, but he looks really good. I definitely would call him up next year. Get him in the team somehow, maybe as the long reliever finally. Jack Flaherty, unbelievable season. Not sure how he didn't win Cy Young. Jose Barrios, Andrew Heaney did take a step back, but he's been really good for us for this whole rebuild. It's been tough. You know, I can't really just be like, dang, dude, you suck. What a terrible outing. You know what? He's been unbelievable. He's been the unsung hero of our pitching staff. He's allowed to have one bad season. Griffin Canning, he was having such a good year. He had like a 3.5 ERA at the deadline, man. What happened? And then Jaime Barria, I called him up to take over Aponte, and he's actually been doing good. So I'm going to stick with Heaney in the 3 spot. I'm going to move Barria up, and then you guys can see our bench here. And I just realized I was probably covering the league leading stats. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go back and show you, but I'm sorry that I was covering them up. Let me see now. I definitely was covering up. I'll quickly just show you again. I think I did that last season as well. Sorry. I got to get used to me being up in the corners now and not green screened. But there you go. There's the league leading stats. Austin Meadows with the Diamondbacks. Okay. So let's take a look at our lineup now. I'll get us up here. David Fletcher's been really good. He's got one more year left on his deal, which actually kind of works out well because we've got Gonzalez. We've got Jeremiah Jackson, who fielding wise looks fantastic. Hitting wise, not so much. We got Maitan. We got Kyron Paris. We have a lot of middle infield, like a lot. So Maybe let Fletcher go, maybe keep him. It really just depends on how he continues to develop or not develop. Shohei, great season. He's killing it. Trout-esque numbers. Rendon, still putting up solid numbers. It looks like the power numbers are starting to fall a little bit, but still putting up good numbers. Jared Walsh, fantastic. He does become a free agent, but like I've been talking about, probably would look to go a different direction. Not going to be able to really afford him, and I feel like spending on pitching is probably the best bet, especially since we do have a lot of offensive weapons on this team. J.R. Willingham, still putting up good numbers. I don't understand why his potential and overall is going down. He's still putting up a really, good season. It's a good year. Joe Adell, improved, but I still want to see better. Definitely want to see better. Travis d'Arnaud, 23 home runs from a catcher. Not terrible, just not a great season. And then Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh might actually start over Adell, and then Adell would be like a DH. I don't know. Maybe Chavis goes to DH. There's a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of young guys coming up too. So he, like that David Bain or Dan Bain. Like he's right around the corner of being MLB ready too. We got a lot of options. So I think that would probably be the time where I go Shohei moves to first, and then we can rock like Bain, Adell, and then Marsh in the outfield. I think that's a solid sounding outfield to me. All right, we're taking on the Athletics, the division rivals. Please just go to the next round. Thank you. Taking on the Indians now, and like part of me is like, man, I just feel so just unsure about how this is gonna go, and I knew it, man. I knew it. I knew I should have put Jack Flaherty in Game 4. Just, are we really? Is this about to be a reverse sweep? Is that what is gonna happen? We had 1, 2, 3. This is like, no, please don't do this to me. Not a reverse sweep. Not a reverse sweep. Jose Barrios, I need you here, man. Just not a reverse sweep, please. No. Dude, Juan Soto on this team, that's unbelievable. Thank you, Mike Trout. 2-0. I have faith in Barrios. I definitely do. That's not what you want to see, though. 2-2 game. Michael Chavis, that's big. That's so big. We got to keep our lead and extend it, though. Please extend it. A runner was thrown out. That's unfortunate. All right, so far, you know what? Things are good. We have the lead. Things are good. Please, Jared Walsh. Can Barrios give me like at least one more inning? He does. Perfect. Manuel Clase comes in. Willingham gets on. Double play. Ooh, tough. I want to get greedy, and I'm going to take him out now. We're going to go to our lefty Claudio. A run scores lefty. 2 lefty hits, man. 2 lefty hits. You got to be kidding me. Moreno comes in, shuts the door there. 2 lefty hits. Unbelievable. Gives them a 4-3 lead. Unreal, man. Unreal. Just, I can't believe it. Bases loaded. We have the lefty matchups. 2 more innings. Thank you, Jared Walsh. Thank you. Joe Adell gets on. Please, Travis d'Arnaud. Grounds out. That's all right. Let's go Floro here. Perfect. All right, let's walk it off here. Please. Trout, this is all meant for you. Okay. Rendon. Jared Walsh again. A ground out. Okay. This is the inning. I have faith. Anybody. What is going on, dude? Please, anybody at all. Just get on base. Get them runners going. Trout loads the bases. Rendon, a grand slam to walk it off. Talk about a way to win it. Ooh. And now we're taking on the Dodgers. So this is going to definitely be a tough matchup. I'm going to go like this. And then Barria got lit up. So we're going to put him as our 5 starter. Game 1, Gratterall, Heaney. 6-5 dub. That's big right there. Next game, I'll move myself in the corner. I realized I was covering up the pitcher stamina, but don't you worry. Flaherty, Dustin May. Tough loss there. Who lost us that game? Flaherty. That's all right. Barrios Weaver, 2-1. Nick Whitgren lost us that game. Let's go Heaney here. I have faith. And then let's see how it goes. They've plenty of rest here. Heaney, please. We lose. That is not good. The Dodgers are just seeming to be our kryptonite right here. Not doing too well. We gotta go with them. Even if he only gives us like 4 innings, it's perfectly fine. Come on, Flaherty. Let's work quick through the lineup. Keep a groove going. I mean, they don't have Bellinger anymore. Who do they have in their squad? An all Los Angeles World Series, by the way. I just realized that. Kingery, DeYoung. They've got Betts. That's a completely different team. That's tough. That's a completely different team. Our offense just doesn't seem existent right now. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take him out. I should have taken him out last batter. Wickern gets us out 3-0. Okay, Ohtani gets us back in it. This is our inning right here. I have faith. Yeah, let's pinch hit here. Let's go Thaiss. Strikeout, a fly out, and then a 2-run home run ties it up. Thank you, David Fletcher, the GOAT. We're gonna go to. We need some innings for sure. So let's go Canning. I need some innings here. So we just need to take the lead and give him a lead, get him comfortable here. Unfortunate. So all right, 3-3 still. Anything at all. Come on, Rendon. Get on base, start a rally for us. A pop-up, a strikeout, and a flyout. All right, we're going to go Floro. Come on. No, seriously? Not like this, man. Matt Bowman comes in. We're going to pinch hit. It's a righty, so we're going to go Brandon Marsh. He triples. That's big. A ground out. No. A walk. It comes down to Willingham. He brings in the run. Trout strikes out. Okay, that's all right. We're going to go to... we got to go our closer, right? He walks a guy. That's not what you want. Another walk. Losing the World Series. Losing the ALDS. Losing the ALCS. Losing the ALCS. Losing the ALDS. Oh, man. Unfortunate. Playoff MVP was Mike Trout. Just couldn't clutch it up. And let me look at the scores again. So we won this game. We lost this one. Because of the bullpen. Offense kind of sputtered there and this game. And then Heaney got rocked a little bit and Valencia lost it there. But that's a tough one. We at least made the World Series, and unfortunately that's where it's going to end. We couldn't win it, but it was a realistic rebuild. We definitely made some realistic trades. We only made signings that I felt made sense. You know, we waited until we had the money to go out and splash the cash on Barrios and also Jack Flaherty. Didn't really go crazy with the bullpen additions. You know, we brought in a couple players from the draft. On top of that, we let players develop. And the same thing with the lineup. What addition did we make? This guy from free agency, Travis d'Arnaud, that's not a big name. Michael Chavis was available, and I felt like he was a decent bat for us. You know, home runs, good DH guy. You know what? I felt like this was pretty good. So if you guys want to see some more realistic rebuilds, you guys have some ideas to make it more realistic, let me know in the comment section down below. That's really about it. If you enjoyed it, 1,000 likes, I'll do another realistic rebuild tomorrow. And that's about it. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thumbs up if you did. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And that's about it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.